is back again for a review of, let's make sure I've got it ready, for Prada Black EDP, or the full name Luna Rossa Black, which is part of the Luna Rossa range. This is a fairly new one for me. I've had it just before Christmas time. I'm going to go over the notes in a minute, and obviously the same kind of format I'll be doing with the review, where I'll be talking about the initial smell, the dry down, the longevity, the projection off of the skin. And again, I have mentioned this in the video before, but a big beginner mistake when looking to buy a fragrance, perfume or whatever, is just going on the initial smell. We've all been there, we've all made this mistake, but I just thought I'd reiterate this again from the other past video. Obviously I went into more detail about things, obviously introducing myself, so this is a follow-up. It will just be more to the point, more you know, more structured for the review now that I've got the introductions out the way. But yeah, these strips, whatever you spray on these will completely be different than on skin, and obviously everybody's own body chemistry will be not only what they smell, but what they project off of their own skin will be very different as well. So let's say that's like a schoolboy era to just, again, literally when I was in a you know, teenager, buying my Calvin Kleins, my Armani's, my Hugo Bosses, Lacoste, so on and so on. Making that mistake of just the initial, the power of that first blast dictating purchase of a lot of fairly average EDTs back in the day. But this is a fairly good one. Obviously I should, you know, without jumping the gun, so to speak, this is a good one. Most EDPs tend to last a bit longer than an EDT, and I've noticed probably the past decade I've been showing more favoritism to more perfumes. Not that EDTs are bad, it's just that you tend to need to reapply them, because from my understanding the alcohol content is lower, or the oils or whatever, you know, gives the longevity. They also tend to have more real raw materials in there. Una, there's Una, she's wanting to come in, and as you can probably tell from the angle of this video, it's already a little bit off center. As I mentioned in the previous video, Una is a Bengal cat. She's a cheeky little monkey. Might be able to hear in the background. Had to lock her out. Don't like to do it, but she keeps wanting to knock the camera over. She knocks other things over as well. Like I've had to sort out all my aftershave bit. Anyway, let's go into the actual review itself. Or what we'll do some notes of what the actual website says that's in the product and the price and so on. So Prada Black, 50ml. Is £60. This is basically not a set price. This is looking online, Boots, Superdrug, Fragrance Direct, various other online retailers. So the price is going to vary, and I got this on offer. So obviously the 100ml I paid £86 from Boots, and that was like a 20% off before Christmas. But this ranges from 100 to 120 now for the 100ml. So I saved a bit of money there. But okay, so here we go. Prada Black Eau de Parfum is a sophisticated, seductive, masculine scent designed to capture attention. Luna Rossa Black opens with fresh, sparkling notes of pink pepper and coumarin. This addictive aftershave then settles into a warm and woody musk base, creating a sense of pure indulgence and luxury, a timeless and iconic men's aftershave. So yeah, the usual spiel, obviously marketing and sell the product doesn't always tell you, or depending on what website you go on, it can tell you different ingredients, but it gives you the general idea. One thing I can say, and I don't see actually many people mention this, and I'll get onto this at a later date, but for people trying to get educated on what's actually in it, obviously when you look on the back of a box, I've not got the box with me, like most people tend to throw it away, they'll have a breakdown of the chemicals and obviously what kind of alcohols and so on are used. Different chemical names for what we smell as, say, vanilla, could be ISO super or whatever the, you know, the compound or the chemical names are. But what would be nice is like, actually I've got an example here. this will be a review for another day. But this one, I'm not going to go into it, but you might be able to see there. Let's see, get a bit closer. Let's try and focus in. I'm filming this on a camera phone, so forgive me. But yeah, basically what that does, I don't think it's focusing, but anyway, what it does is it breaks down the chemicals that are in it, and it actually tells you what they are or what they smell of. So obviously marine will have a picture of waves, so it gives you an idea. Woody, and I know that's kind of basic and most people will be able to make their own mind up, but it's just nice. Citrus, amber, wood, and so on, like for this one in particular. But I just think it's like an idea. I know like it could be seen as a bit simple, but I think it's sort of nice if you're buying it for someone else, not necessarily having to smell it, but the initial view, you know, you walk past something and you don't just buy what everybody else is buying, or rather you make your own mind up, you're your own person. But I'm saying if you were buying for someone and they're like, I love patchouli, I love flowers, I love rose, whatever, you could be walking past and there could be, I don't know, Yves Saint Laurent or whatever, French perfumery house that could have, you know, what you know this person likes, and then you could look at that and then you can make the initial judgment and then consider spraying it. But anyway, so moving on to the actual review. So I'll do the initial smell, the dry down projection, and my own comments. For obviously I've wore this, when did I buy it? Just before Christmas, so I've had a few months experience. Oh, and another thing, again, from going on one website, there'll be some information, a breakdown of the ingredients. You go onto another one, there'll be more detail or more marketing spiel and so on. But the actual base notes and the heart and the core of this, sorry, the base of this perfume is bergamot, angelica, patchouli, cormaine, however you pronounce that, cormaine, musk, and ambergris. So, okay, on to the actual review. I'm doing well for time. I was going to give myself a 10-minute limit, and I've gone into some education on some things and just some random chit chat. But again, that's my personality. I'm obviously passionate about what I talk about. There's thousands of, you know, for this one alone, there's probably a few hundred on YouTube where they'll just, you know, repeat what they've read online or what other, you know, reading it all from a script. Well, obviously I'm going more from my own experience. I'm not saying everybody does that, but trying to interject a bit of personality, a bit of individuality. So without further ado, so again on the skin. So here we go. I know that the initial smell is very strong, so okay, yep, getting it already. So again, big mistake when you just judge on the initial smell, because again, the drop with an EDP in comparison to an EDT tends to be more consistent, but doesn't last that long, and it's meant to be more for reapplication, be it like, you know, one of the little, the vaporizer, vaporizer, however you say it. Obviously that, you know, you can reapply, put it in your handbag or in your breast pocket, jeans, wallet, whatever. Where perfumes last a bit longer, you shouldn't have to be reapplying them if it's of a proper, a decent brand, decent concentration like this one. Let's just say, okay, I'll go through the format of, you know, the initial smell is lovely. It's very clean. I know, like, you're going to hear this a lot. It's the same as when people buy a steak and they don't know how to vocabulise how nice it is, so they just say, oh, it melts in the mouth. Melts in the mouth. They're not, I don't want to say educated enough to be able to give their opinion, but it's that they go on that initial sense and then they say it, and then enough people say it, they say it. But it is fresh, clean. I don't want to say like aquary, like how people class it as blue, so like the sea, ozonic air, but it comes, to me, it comes across as that. And obviously having smelt, I think another Luna Rossa range, they all are of that type. They're all obviously different ingredients, but they follow that kind of design with this range. So just putting that out there. So obviously I need to leave it a little bit longer for the dry down, but the dry down actually stays pretty consistent. If anything, I'd say it's very masculine already. It's very strong, similar to the Jean Paul Gaultier. Less sweet though. Jean Paul Gaultier was sweet, it had more vanilla in it. This doesn't have vanilla, but again, yeah, it's a hard one to describe because it's kind of like, again, you would have to smell it. Like, I can only give describing words. You would have to smell it yourself to see if it agreed with you, if you like the particular ingredients and notes in there. But in terms of projection longevity, it's literally cool. If I was putting a time limit on it, be it I go to work and I work 10 to 12 hours, I'll put it on in the morning and it's still there when I come home. So I wouldn't even say that there's a time limit. I would say it's like almost an all-day fragrance, which is very rare to find. Hence why I would give this, for my taste, my smell, like a 9 out of 10. The only reason I wouldn't give it a 10, because again, nothing's perfect. It's tens. I don't want to say safe, because again, people use that term. There will be other people that you will be able to smell this smell elsewhere. There's nothing particularly nuanced or niche or different about it, but it is very nice, and it's not too sweet. It's still masculine, fresh and clean, and it's just, you could wear it for different occasions. You could wear it in the office, you could wear it at the gym, albeit at this price. Even though I paid £86, obviously we're looking at over £100 for 100ml, 120. So I'd say it's like middle, what I would class as middle of the road in terms of price range. Obviously you can get 20, 30, 40 pounders, and then it tends to go 80 to 100 to 120, and then the topper end anywhere from like 150 to 200 into the Tom Fords and, you know, Amouage and all of these other brands that are in the hundreds up to almost thousands. So long and short of it, highly recommended. Much like the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Parfum, long lasting, projecting, strong. This is very fresh and clean. The dry down's nice as well. It kind of gets a bit, I don't want to say smoky now, it's drying down a bit more. That could be the musk in it, I'm not sure. But it's just very nice. I don't want to say boozy, because again, you know, it's easy to get carried away and just saying, because in the end, a lot of these EDTs, EDPs are very similar. So I like it when it's a bit different, but this is just like a classic signature fragrance that I don't really think I can't find really much fault in it, minus it being fairly safe and nothing, you know, over extravagant. And on that note, yeah, I'll leave it there.